Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here to work on my blue Zion from Diamond Art Club. It is 55 by 55. We'll just jump right in, and this is DMC 3811. It's this baby blue color. So I'm going to start with the face. We're trying to get the face done today. Should be able to. I don't like to make these, longer than an hour-ish. I found that the last few were about an hour and 10 minutes, and we got quite a bit done. So I think once I get this done, I can officially say that half of the diamond painting is done. And I pretty much, did the whole thing on camera. I think there's a few of like the black outlines I kind of did off camera, but the rest I did on camera. And I think this is the 12th one maybe. So where they're about an hour each, so that means about 12 hours. And this is not, oops, I didn't have one on there. This is not the only diamond painting that I'm doing. I have a 30 by 40 that is a flamingo, and I really like it. That's one, it's 30 by 40 and about a 4-inch strip on one side of it is all done. All the way down. I started the second 4-inch strip, and I have just like the bottom done. And then last night while we were watching TV, I started the third 4-inch strip, only because it's all the same color. It's like a white or a cream. And I find when you're also watching TV, it's best if you're not changing colors every 2 minutes. So we watched, an hour and a half of TV, and I didn't change color once. So that's what I wanted. I wanted to be able to just work on the one color and try to get as much done as I could. So probably tonight, if we watch more TV, I'll do the same thing and try to get some of these diamond paintings done. I still have the Harry Potter one that there's only like 2 inches, so I might try to finish that off this week. Then I'm working on my Egyptian goddess, I guess, and that's a 55 by 100. And I'd say one more 4-inch strip, and I'm half done that. So that's coming along really good. I started that on the 23rd of May. I know that, the only reason I know that is because it came in on my birthday, and right away I was like, oh, I gotta work on that. I just absolutely love that. And then I'm working on a coffee one too. That one's really small. I think it's like 20 by 30. And so that's what, one. And then of course the blue Zion, that's 2. Yep, that's 5. So I'd like to get some of them. Oh, and I'm also I have 6 because I'm also working on the Princess Ensemble. And I said that was going to be on Saturdays, and I decided not to use the footage that the first hour, I guess, because I filmed that like way back, like in April or something. So everything I'm going to talk about is super old, so I'm not going to do that. Now, getting the kit ready, I'll use it because I did it real time, and then I'm just going to do a voiceover, so I'll try to do that for this weekend. So on Wednesday, you're going to have Blue Zion, and then on Saturday, it's going to be the Princess Ensemble. And I can't even remember which princess I started with because there's 6 princess on it. And I filmed probably 3 or 4 unboxings, and I still haven't put it up on my YouTube channel. So I got to get working on that this week too, to upload some of those unboxing. I got a couple, and I mean, some of them I filmed it. I just haven't put it up on my YouTube channel. I bought a couple more Diamond Art Club. It must be close to a month since it's been here. I filmed the unboxing right away. I just never put it up. So I gotta put that up. And I just got a couple from AliExpress. They're super cute. But I think I'd like to work on more than one at a time because I find because they take so long to complete, like it's not something, as soon as they're a little bit bigger, you know, you can't get those done in a weekend unless you just worked on it constantly. I have other stuff to do. I wish I could just do this constantly, but I can't. So by having more than one going, then it's not as, I don't know, boring, I guess. Not that it's boring. I enjoy doing this for sure. It's just that, for example, this one I want to do on camera. So whenever I felt like doing a diamond painting, it was like, well, you know, it's not time to do my WIP and chat or my chat with me or my diamond paint with me. Because I don't want stuff, I don't want to do 3 or 4 in a week and then it's put up like a month from now. I mentioned that last time. Like I find that's just too far away. So today's June 25th and this is going to go up tomorrow. And that way it's current stuff. It's not stuff that, you know, I'm talking about, you know, that's a month and a half old. So what did we do last weekend? Well, last Friday, which was the first day of summer, which here, by the way, it was disgusting. It was raining. It was cold. It was yuck. It was a disappointing first day of summer, let me put it that way. And but I was working anyway, so I worked all night. And then Saturday night, we went here in town. Rib Fest was here, where you know, they set up these huge restaurants outdoors. There's music, you know, you can buy ribs. And there was one of the restaurants that was selling blooming onions. Oh, haven't had that in like forever. So we had some of that. We ended up staying there about 3 hours. There was music playing, and so that was fun. And then Saturday ended up being really beautiful. So it was a perfect night to go for that. And then Sunday we just went back to town and we just did our groceries and stuff. So Sunday went by pretty quickly. We have one of those blow-up pools, those blue ones. We had been getting the ground ready for it for the last month and a half because where we live, it's basically like a rock. So it was just to get it ready. And then we put sand the weekend before. So last weekend we put it up and then we started putting water in it. And then, you know, every day I put 2-3 hours of water until it's going to be full. I'm hoping we're going to have a nice summer so that everyone can use the pool. Up to now, not looking great. Today's beautiful, but the next 9 days, they're calling for rain. Can you believe it? 9 days. I hope it changes. We're going to climb Mount Carlton on the weekend, and they're calling for rain all weekend. So we're gonna have to make sure to bring like rain gear and all that stuff because not fun. Okay, so I think that's done. I think I'm gonna do 310, which is the dot, just to get that done. I don't know why I wanna do the 310 though, because just before this, I worked on my Egyptian girl, and I did like an hour of 310s. Maybe that's why I just want to do it and then it's done, and there's not a lot. So, and that other painting is a square painting. I think I have to replace the wax. I was talking about how often, I have to replace the wax because it keeps falling out of my pen. And I think it was Alice. She said that, I can't remember who she was watching, but they said that they use blue tack. I actually have blue tack too. And I don't like it. I don't know what I don't like about it. I guess it's just whatever you get used to. I'm kind of used to the pink wax, and I don't mind replacing it that often. It's not as if I'm going to run out. You know what I mean? It's like I have so much wax and I keep it all together. So when, I receive a new kit, I put the canvas. I showed you when I was showing you my stash. I have a spot where I keep my canvas, and I still haven't showed you where I keep my drills. And that's because it's going to change really soon. So I think I'll wait. See, all my wax came out on that. I think I'll wait till I have the new area all done up, and then I'll show you where I keep, most of my drills. I put them in Ziploc bags and get them all, I like to keep them all together. Another thing is the different ways that I kit up my diamond paintings. I have several different containers, and I want to try them out for a few months and see how I like them. And then I'll let you know. I don't know if I have a preferred way, I guess you could say. I think it's fun to have different ways to store. Oh, there was some more black there. Oh well. Maybe I'll take it out again after. I'll just finish the eye. I'm doing C right now, and C is 820, DMC 820, and it's a beautiful blue. So yeah, I just like using different ways to kit up my kits. And then that way, every time I work on a kit, I'm just going to use different methods of storing my drills, and it just keeps it fresh, I guess. It's just like every time, I work on a different painting, I use a different pen. Just cause. So this is one I made myself. It's got periwinkle is the like a blue, and then a lilac and a white. And then this one here is a purple, a pink, and a white. So the one on the bottom I would call like a tight marble, and then the one on top I would call like a loose marble. marble effect or marble look. So I'm having fun making those too. After I'm done recording this, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and make another maybe 10 or 15 today. That's it for the C's. I want to get this done. Oh, I have one more C right there. Yeah, I want to get all her face done. Then it's going to feel like, yay. She's going to be halfway done. And then it's going to be getting some frames. I think the biggest frame I found was at IKEA, and it was a 50 by 50. And this is 55 by 55. I really don't want to cut it down. So I'll keep looking for frames. Even if I don't, I mean, it would be better if I frame them right away, but if I don't frame them right away, I'm not gonna panic. I'm just gonna keep looking for frames, and then, you know, I'll start framing them. I have 8 done. Still 8 from the time that I showed you my stash and I showed you the ones that were all completed. I had 8 completed. I still only have 8 completed, but I have 6 on the go. So all of a sudden it'll be like boom, boom, boom. I'll get all of them done because this is halfway done. My Egyptian queen is almost halfway done. And my Harry Potter one only has like a little strip. My flamingo is about 1/3 done, I guess. So yeah, it'll be like boom, boom, boom. And my coffee one is about 1/3 done too. And my princess one is not even 1%. Haven't been working on that one very much. Okay, L is 823. 823, 823. So we'll get L done, and then all her I will be done. And that's like a darker blue, that one there. Dark, dark blue. Oops. Bring that up a little bit so I don't stick to the canvas. So how many diamond paintings do you have going at once? I thought I'd start doing, you know, more than one, because the same reasoning as reading books. I have more than one going because I get what you call like a book hangover, and is exactly what happened to me this week. I didn't do what I always, you know, say that I do and start another book. And then all of a sudden I finished all my books and I had no books on the go, and I'm having the hardest time starting to read other books again. So I got to do that probably today, is, you know, get going on those books, because I read 7 books in the first 20 days of June, and since June 20th, so the last 5 days, usually I would have had at least one book, you know, a lot in. I'd be, you know, close to 50 or 70% done. And I think I have like 2%. I'm on page 13 or 14 in one book and like 20 in the other. So I need to get that going again. I probably won't get any more books read for June unless I read the one that's only 300 pages and read, you know, 50 pages a day or something for the next 5 days, and then get that book done. Maybe I'll try to do that so that I have 8 books done. It's kind of the same reasoning with the diamond painting. Not that I would have a diamond painting hangover. It's more, you know, getting the kit set up and like that stuff. Although I enjoy it, oh, there's a piece of scrap there. Even though I enjoy doing it, like getting a kit ready, it's still time consuming. So now I have all these kits that are all kitted up and ready to go. Actually, I like doing that so much that I'm like, oh, maybe I could kit up another kit. And I'm like, no, you know, you got like 8 done. You're good. You're good. Because I have more kitted up than I'm actually working on. I think I have like 8 ready to go. Every time I get a new one, I'm like, oh, I want to do that one next. It's so fun. So this weekend, the camping trip that we're doing, even my mom and her husband and my sister-in-law and her 2 kids, they're joining us there, and they're going to climb the mountain. But I think we're going to need some kind of rain ponchos or something because it's, hope it changes before then. They're calling for a lot of rain. And we've already paid for camping, so it's not as if we can say, oh, well, we'll go another weekend. And my son has the weekend off, so he can go to the camping thing or to the hiking. So it's not as if we can go another weekend because he's going to be working every weekend this summer. So there we go. Movies that I've watched. I've watched Murder Mystery, and it's a Netflix original, and it's with Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler. It was kind of, you know, it reminded me of like Inspector Clouseau and just like a silly movie. I enjoyed it. It wasn't like, it's not going to become my favorite movie of all times, but it was entertaining. We'll put it that way. And then I watched this new episode of The 100, which I'm really enjoying that. We finished a lot of our shows. Now we're catching up on a lot of them. Right now we're watching SEAL Team, which I love. It has Angel in it, which I loved him when he was an Angel. I loved him when he was in Bones. I just love him as an actor. So we're watching that. We haven't watched an episode all season. So now we're just like binge watching, you know, 2-3 episodes a night until we catch up for the season. And then we'll move on to the next one. We did that actually with quite a few shows that we didn't watch all year. And then in the summer, because there's not a lot of new stuff in the summer, then in the summer we have something to kind of, you know, we'll just pick one show and then we'll binge watch it until we're all caught up. So we have SEAL Team, SWAT, This Is Us. The new show FBI. We've been taping those. Then there's a new one. What's it called? Blood and Treasure. And it so reminds me of National Treasure. So that's taping this summer, but we're just taping it and then we'll watch it, like binge watch it. That's the way I like watching shows. And then Big Brother starting tonight, Big Brother USA. So we'll be watching those. Those we stay pretty current because otherwise those episodes will fill up your PVR because it's 3 times a week. So you kind of have to stay on top of those if you don't want your PVR to be full. So we'll be watching those kind of, sometimes, you know, we'll let them build up 2-3 episodes and then boom, 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 we'll watch them right in a row. It depends on how much stuff we have to do. And as far as book, I started reading Bitter Blue, which is the third and final book in the Graceling Realms trilogy. They're all companion books. So if you kind of like books where the complete story arc is in one book, I really, really loved Graceling. Fire, it wasn't a 5-star, but I really enjoyed it too. And the third one is Bitter Blue, and she's actually a character from the first book, which I did like. So, and I think it's like 7 years later from the first book, so it's, you know, some time has passed. So I'm enjoying, you know, well, I've only read 20 pages, so I can't really tell you if I'm enjoying it or not. It's like just started. It's just kind of introducing the characters and stuff. But I liked her in the first book, so I'm hoping I will like this. And it's a big book. It's like 520 pages, 530 pages, something like that. So it's not a tiny book. And then the next book I'm reading, I had just bought it from Book Outlet last month or the month before. I think it's called A Totally Awkward Love Story or something like that. And that too early to say if I like it or not. I have like 14 pages read, so I need to read a little bit more. Like I said today, hopefully haven't read anything since last Friday. Okay, so I just stopped the recording and started it again because it's much easier to upload it to my computer if it's in 30 minutes increments, or videos, I should say. So that means we have half hour left. Oh, I have a cute story to say about Mason. I've mentioned this. I don't know if I mentioned this on here before or on my, I know I mentioned it on my scrapbooking videos, but my oldest daughter is, you know, in school too. She's going to college. And Mason started kindergarten this year. Well, the last day of school was last Friday, which is, you know, June 21st. In Canada, they go, and I know a lot of places in the States, they're done in May, the end of May. For us, they go till the end of June, and then they only start in September. So anyway, he finished last Friday. He came home, and my daughter said when he came in, his eyes were just filled with tears. And she's like, you know, what's going on, buddy? And he said, Mom, I passed kindergarten. I never thought that I'd be able to pass. Which I don't know why, because he's a pretty smart kid. I mentioned before that, you know, when my daughter went for parent-teacher meeting, and my daughter said that she was impressed that he could subtract and add and all this stuff, and the teacher said, well, I don't know where he's learning it because we're not doing that, you know, they're kindergarten. And so it was one of the kids at daycare, when he was doing his homework, Mason would sit with him, and he was in grade 3 or 4, so he was doing his math with him, and the kid was teaching him how to add and subtract and all this stuff. So anyway, poor kid. Obviously, he was stressing about it. He's such a funny kid. Like, he's such a deep thinker. I don't know if I mentioned this on here before, but my daughter got married last October, and he was, you know, the ring boy, and So instead of sitting in the first row, I kind of sat in the second row. The wedding was outside. And I thought, well, we'll sit in the second row, and then Mason, when he comes down the aisle, he can sit in the first row and he can be right in front of us. And instead of standing, he was 5, so we figured he might be a little jittery. And anyway, the wedding was going on. He went down the aisle, and then he sat in front of us, and the wedding was going on. And then all of a sudden I look at him, and he is crying, and I'm talking not just a little tear. His shoulders were going, like he was sobbing. So I tap him on the shoulder, and I'm like, buddy, what's going on? So he comes back, the one seat, and he's just hugging me, and he's just bawling, and I'm like, what's wrong, bud? And he's like, I'm gonna miss her. And I'm like, what do you mean? Katie's not going anywhere. If anything, you're gonna gain an uncle. You know how you have Uncle Josh and Uncle John? Well, now you have an Uncle Pat. It's a good thing, buddy. It's not a sad day, it's a happy day. So anyway, of course, by me asking him to come to me, then everybody in the wedding party noticed him getting up, and they noticed that he was bawling. So then they all start crying. And so anyway, he was fine once I told him, she's not going anywhere. I don't know what he was thinking, but it was note to self, maybe should have explained that a little bit more, what it meant. And then later on that night, it was at the reception, and we're just sitting there listening to music, and my oldest daughter's sitting there, and all of a sudden I look over at her, and she's bawling her eyes out, and I'm like, oh, for the love of Pete's sake. What are you crying about? And she said, oh, I just realized that Katie's not a Jones anymore. So she's bawling because she's not a Jones anymore. So then I start crying, and I was like, I know, I thought of that too. And so yeah, sappy bunch. So yeah, Mason passed kindergarten, and he was super impressed and happy. My daughter passed her first college year with a 4.1 GPA average. Isn't that amazing? So she did amazing. And my son passed his course too. I don't know, they didn't give a mark yet, so I don't know how he did. He's graduating next week. So he's done. So now he's got to hit the pavement and start looking for jobs. He's got a summer job, the same job he's had for the last 2 years, because he figured he doesn't know how long it's going to take him to find a job in his field. And he told him already, he said, I'm going to be looking for a full-time job, but it might take all summer. So he's going to work at the restaurant. Okay. This little thing, the diamonds are sticking in it. Drive me crazy. There you go. I don't know if I should take something and try to take the static away. Some static sheets. Holy moly. Yep. All over the place. They won't come out. There we go. So that's done. That went really quickly. We still have like almost 25 minutes left. So let's do 1. What is 1? 1 is 1. Okay. 125. That's an AB diamond, Aurora Borealis, and it means that it's super sparkly. So we'll get that done, and then we'll get the E done, and maybe the 310s. Hopefully I'll have time to do all of that. And then your entire face will be done. And then tomorrow I'll work on my princess ensemble and doing the video for that one for Saturday. Yeah, I'll have to do it tomorrow because Thursday we are going to pack everything for our weekend. There we go. We gotta get the house cleaned up because we have someone coming over and taking care of the dogs. I think Caitlin's gonna bring her dog here. There we go. There. I love that, it's so sparkly. Okay, our truck is getting fixed today. Oh, everything last minute. What is it? The no, not the carburetor. The alternator is going, and I didn't want to, be pulling a trailer and the truck break on the way. So it's like, let's just get it fixed. It was still working. But that alternator, when it stops, excuse me, when it stops, it just stops. So figured, just get it done. There. Sometimes the diamonds get stuck right in there. I haven't tried the other multi-placers. I like the 3, and like there was 2, and I just load 2 diamonds. So I had bought some that you could do like 4 and stuff, and they still haven't come in. That's the thing with ordering stuff from AliExpress. Man alive, some stuff takes a long time. I mean, most of the time, it's not a big deal because if I order, a canvas, it's okay now if it takes a month. It's not a big deal because I'm working on some. I have, a little stash. So even if I finish this, I got lots. I have lots to work on after. Okay, so that's done. Should I do E first or the black? How are we doing on time? I still have like 20 minutes, 18 minutes or so. So I probably have time to do the blue and the black. Oh, my Lanta. Yeah, it's very staticky. I cannot get them to go down and go back in the container. There we go. Okay. What is E? We'll start with E. E is 798. Where are you? 798. That's pretty cool. I love that blue. It's like almost like a blue purple. I just noticed that I missed an L over here. Of course. Okay, so I'll do the E's. I don't know why it won't. Okay. Maybe I'll just do it one by one. You know what? I forgot to turn on the light again. I did that last time too. Just to show how clear the symbols are, because I could see them fine. I mean, I see them better. The reason I like the light is it's not as much of a strain on the eyes. It really is much easier on the eyes. Just like I'd rather have pens like this because it's so much easier on the hands. Okay, I'm gonna have to refill. The last time I just refilled the single placer. I'm gonna refill the 3 placer. Here we go. Are you kidding me? Okay, I don't know what's going on. Let me try to refill it again. Oh, that's why it didn't work. It stays on the, didn't even go in. There we go. Excuse me. There. That's much better. Yes, I find that the pink pens, my hands get so crampy after a while. And with this, it's so comfortable and they're smooth and they're not heavy. That's the other thing. It's super light. Okay. Yay. Oops. There we go. Oop. A little crooked. Geez, that's almost all the E's. That went by quickly. I find when you get to this stage where, you know, you're sort of closing in and it's blocks of colors. It's not like, you know, change color every, like confetti, every 2 seconds. It fills up super quickly. There. Okay, now I think I'll do the black here. Yay. Let's make sure there's no more E's though. I'm really good at leaving some out. So I guess 3 10s again. And I think my little container is pretty much empty. So I have some in this, like a bigger container. Because with Diamond Art Club, it's not all little bags. It's, you know, like if you have a lot of one color, like the 3 10s, it's pretty big bags and they don't fit in those little ones there. So I usually combine the system. I'll do the little containers and then I have a few, excuse me, a few of the bigger ones. And then that way I can open up all the packages. Here. Oops. I got a hitchhiker. Oh, these are crooked now. Gotta fix that. So, do any of you, like, what are your plans for the summer? Let me know in the description box below. Do you have anything fun? We have 3 camping trips planned up to now. And then we want to do tubing, which for that, I think we're going to plan last minute and make sure that it's warm, because that's one thing that if it's not really warm, it's not enjoyable. Like, I'd be frozen the whole time going down the river. So that we'll probably plan last minute. We'll probably do it in the middle of the week and just go tubing. And we already have our campground reserved for a 5-day camping trip with Mason. It's the Yogi Bear campground. It's amazing for kids. Amazing. They have all kinds of stuff, you know, bunch of stuff planned that you can go to, like, you know, hay rides and activities. And then they have a little water park, and then they have some bouncy castles. They have a place where you can, like a little shooting range, and it's all included in your fee. Oh, and they have a mini golf course, which Mason didn't think he was gonna like last year. And then we played, and then that's all he wanted to do. He wanted to play mini golf. Loved it. Had so much fun. So last year we just went for the weekend. So this year we thought we would leave on Thursday and then come back on Monday. So we're gonna be there the actual all weekend, like all day Friday, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. So, which is good. It'll give us a little bit more time. And then they have beautiful hiking trails around there too. So we'll be hiking some trails, you know. And last year I didn't diamond paint in the summer. This year I'm diamond painting. So I'm gonna bring some diamond paintings, or one at least. And my light and everything. And of course some books. I love reading, so I'll bring books. And I'll get a little bit of everything done. I plan on relaxing. I'm not one for waters, so my husband will be taking Mason to the little water park. I go for a bit and then watch them, and then after a while I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go back to the campground. You know, start supper or whatever. And then I can, you know, while I'm cooking supper, I can listen to an audiobook or watch a little movie. We have one of those DVD, TV player all in one. We bought that. Oof. Must be close to 20 years ago, and it still works really well. So we'll be bringing that with us. So at night, before bed, if we want to, not every night, but one night, then we can watch a movie. We usually bring books to read around the campfire, like ghost story books. They're made for children, so they're not like super scary, but they're fun to read around the campfire. So that's a tradition that we did with our kids when they were little. So I want to keep that tradition going. So we'll read a couple of those around the campfire with Mason. We do a lot of campfires too, like at our house we have a fire pit, and we didn't do a campfire this past weekend because we were so busy, but Normally, almost every weekend in the summer, we'll do a campfire. And it's because, and we started in May this year. Like some nights it was really cold, but I mean, you're around a campfire, so it's all good. So we started in May. So we'll get that done. Get some campfires in. Okay. So we had taken Mason on Father's Day. We went with my oldest daughter, my youngest daughter, and Mason. Josh had gone to Fredericton. And we went to Fundy National Park, which is about an hour from here. And we went hiking. Mason did really well. So I'm not as concerned about him climbing the mountain anymore. And the fun part is my mom is coming with her husband and my sister-in-law and my nephew who's like 9, I think. Yeah, 9. And my other nephew who's 15. So they're all coming. So that'll be fun. There's going to be 11 of us climbing the mountain. Isn't that cool? Oh, more than that, 12. 1, 2, 3, yeah, 12 of us climbing the mountain. That's pretty cool. That way, there's going to be, different people can walk at different pace. So we're going to take our time. It's not going to be, usually when we climb a mountain, like we're giving her, but where there's, my mom and my nephew, and they're not used to climbing or walking a lot. So we'll probably take our time, then we'll stay on top of the mountain for a little bit just to kind of rest. Then we'll come down and then I think it's a 3-hour up and down, like the whole thing. So then when we come back down, we'll have lunch. Everybody's going to stay for a bit. And we're actually going to camp there. So that'll be fun. Should be fun. The campground was super cheap too. It's like $66 for the whole weekend. It's like, what? We're so used to paying, like the Yogi Bear one, it's like $300 for 5 days. It's almost as expensive as a hotel room. Not quite, but pretty much. I mean, obviously a hotel room would be quite a bit more, but still for a campground, there is a lot of stuff to do though, so. There's a campground near Boston that we really love. We haven't gone in a few years, so we'll need to go again. It's called Normandy Farms. Oh, it is gorgeous. And that's $70 US a night. But they have 5 pools. They have a golf course. They have a basketball area. Oh, they have a ton of stuff. It's so gorgeous. It's a beautiful, beautiful campground. And we went like 5 years in a row until we're like, okay, like, we need to go elsewhere. Like, we were just always going to the same campground. We just wanted to discover other stuff. So then we went to the White Mountains for 2 years in a row. And then it was like, okay, well, now we got to do something else. We're like that. As soon as we find something and we really like it, we just want to go every year, but then you don't get to discover other stuff. So that's why this year we're doing Mount Carlton and Mount Katahdin, because it's two new places. And we might do the White Mountains again next year. I don't know. We'll see. Either do the White Mountains or it's time to go to Toronto, which we haven't done in, I think it was 2011, the last time we went. Yeah, I think so, 2011. So it's time to go. It's been 8 years. Well, me and my husband went a couple of years ago, but we didn't do the touristy things. We just went to visit some friends and came right back home. It was like a 4-day trip. But we need to do Wonderland and Marineland with Mason. He's never done it, so I'm gonna do that with him. So that'll be fun. So we might do that next year. I don't know. We want to do all the things. You know what? A few years ago, it was like, oh, maybe in a few years, And then when we turned 50, I said to my husband, I was like, okay, we got to stop saying that. Like, we just got to do it. So that's why that year we climbed Mount Washington, and then we climbed it again at 51. And so this year we're doing Mount Carlton and Mount Katahdin. But it's hard to do all the things in, 8 weeks, right? And then summer's done. It's like, okay, what are you going to do next year? But we want to make sure to at least camp a few times and then we were going to do the tubing last year. And again, we didn't get to do it. So I'm going to do that this year. It's so fun. Do you guys have stuff like that around your area, like tubing and stuff? If you do, it is so worth it to do. It's so fun. It's a lot of laughs. And what else? Oh, we want to go to the drive-in. That's not as far, but we just got to be home a weekend so that we can do the drive-in. So that'll be fun. We want to bike this summer. We didn't do, and my husband bikes quite a bit. He bikes almost every day. He gets up in the morning and goes biking. But the two of us, we didn't do any biking last year because I had my surgery in April, and it was a hernia, so it was in the groin area. So biking was not comfortable, so we didn't do any biking last year, but we want to do some biking this year. And there's tons of trail around our area that is so fun to do, so I want to make sure to do those, biking and walking. We bought this book, and it's all the hiking trails of New Brunswick, so we want to tab them and say, okay, this year we want to do this many, and then drive up to them and do the trails. So we want to, I can't remember, I think there's over like 100. So it'd be fun to be able to do, if we want to do them all, we got to do at least 10 in a year, but a lot of them are probably really close to home, so they're going to be easier to do. And then maybe plan on one that's not so close to home a year. But I know we can knock a few that we did, we can do when we go to Woodstock and that stuff. So, okay. Well, all that's left for the face are these T's or pluses. I think I'm going to do them. And then we'll stop there. We just got to put away the 3/10. I wanted to do the outline of her face and stuff, so. Okay, I threw more on the floor than in the bucket. There we go. What is the plus sign? Okay, it won't shut. Oh, there we go. Plus sign is $7.99. Okay. Well, that shouldn't take too long. It's just a few. And what is that? Is that a T? Yeah, I think so. I think that's a T right there. Maybe I'll do that one just so that it's done. Okay. I'm feeling really happy about how much I got done in an hour on this time around. So I had 3 on my pen, so I put the 2 over here and then the 1 there because I didn't have any more spots that were 3s. So we'll get this done and then we'll call it good for today. So this was fun. Got so much done. The whole face is done. I only have like a couple of spots that are not filled. What I might do is just put this away and then just take out the ones that I need and just get those done. And then it'll be like, okay, the face is done. Next time around, we can start like right here, maybe get this thing done. Okay, what is T? 9:39. I think I'm not gonna do a whole bunch. I'm just gonna do what I need to finish the face. That's it. And then this one is purple, so that's 796. It's like a purple. Get that done. And then the letter K, I got 2 Ks, and then that'll be it. We're gonna stop there today. I gotta put all this stuff away, and then I gotta get my day going. So that's 333. Let me see if I can find that. There we go. It's like a purple. I'm just gonna get this done. That kind of grabbed it kind of funny, but it's there, so it's all done. Yay. Okay, so I'm gonna take it off the tripod and I'll just show you like a minute of how much is done, and then that'll finish it for today. Okay guys, this is what it looks like. Because you can tell the whole top is done. It's done to right there, and then all the face is done. It's looking really good. I'm really liking it. So this is what is left to do. So almost halfway done, pretty close. And that's it. That's going to complete this WIP and chat. And I want to thank you so much for joining me. Bye.